Remember the studio that we covered yesterday, Wonderworks Studio? Well, they've managed to mess up even again. And so in this time story, we're going to explain why so many people are mad at Wonderworks Studio. The studio that made multiple Roblox events such as the Insomniac Roblox event, Fruit Loops, and so much more. Wonderworks Studio likes to describe itself as creating wondrous works in the metaverse. It is owned by Megan Plays and her husband Aviator Gaming. They've worked on multiple Roblox events like the Fruit Loops Roblox event and so much more that they are working on. They're also known for Overlook Bay, Timmy, and so much more game. And that leads us to today's story where they are in fact working on another Roblox event. As you remember last time from last time's video, you can check it out, the link is in the description. We had a couple of problems with Wonderworks Studio. The number one fact is that they had a lack of communication with their players and were constantly delaying game updates. But now something has come up that's even worse, which is stealing clothing designs on Roblox despite the fact that they're a professional company. This is unacceptable, and let me explain why. Basically, there's a brand new Roblox event and it's called Forever 21 Shop City. It has arrived on Roblox and you and your self-expression come first. So you can build your own custom themed store, you can discover exclusively designed metaverse and play with friends. And so the problem here is the meta merge, and let's learn more about that. So initially when the event came out, this is what happened. We found this tweet that said, Forever 21 just released a collab on Roblox and I was disappointed to see that the clothes used stolen shading from Google on multiple items. And so let's take a look at that real quick. This is a shading template. This is the classic shading template that pretty much everyone uses. It was actually stolen from Relics a couple years ago. It's a classic shading template. And then as you can see, that is the jacket with the template on it. And so they responded with a really inappropriate response that doesn't really make sense and it feels like lying because it pretty much is. Alright, let's zoom into this tweet real quick that says all Forever 21 apparel was originally designed and created by Wonderworks. The apparel wasn't copied from any source, however we do recognize the similarities, so out of respect for the original artists, all creators and players on the platform, we're updating the designs now. And they're like, are you sure? This is the exact same shading template. Take a look at this. Here's the shading template, you can see the clear distinction. Then when you look at that, that's the same one on Google. Are you sure about that, Wonderworks? You really sure? You're probably thinking, well, that's just simply not enough to say that they stole. However, they did steal. And let's take a look at these tweets that say did some more digging and wouldn't you know, they used shading that belongs to my IP Kestrel. The same shading Gucci went under fire for using months ago. Is this similarity still, or are we just not going to admit the entire collection is copied? I'm sorry, I'm just so tired of this. I'm actually at the brink of tears because every few months is the same story all over again. And designers have to sit here and fight for their seat at the table while playing the public relations, project management, and high relations role all at once. It's getting increasingly frustrating having to compete with these major studios or brands that come into the ecosystem and deny our existence. Look at Gucci, they learned from their mistakes and hired in-house and that second collection slapped, and Sapphire killed it. Did I even hear an apology though? See any of the profit? No, and that's how it will continue to be. It's tiring, and if Kaya don't do it, then hundreds of small designers that get their stuff stolen on a daily basis in-house will never even get a chance with those big brands. And just to prove it further, Relics actually took a GIF right over here. This GIF right over here shows that it is the shading template, and then it's put back on again. So yeah, that is literally the exact same, and they're literally lying. You know what doesn't make sense to me in this overall situation? Because I'm actually upset now. How can a studio with 55 employees not afford a proper shading template and instead use a free one off Google that they didn't even have permission to use in the first place? And it's funny because they could have hired original designers for this for much less of the price that they hired Wonderworks Studio for. This is really upsetting knowing that Wonderworks Studio could have produced something great. And that's the entire thing that they're advertising the collection. But the collection itself is utter and complete trash that is stolen. This is a lazy shortcut which Wonderworks Studio usually does with their games anyways. If you remember yesterday, people were mad because they delayed their update without a proper response to their players, and they've actually done this twice. No, actually they've done this even more times with more games. They make promises they can't keep, and it's just overall a mess of a studio that needs to up their ante on Roblox. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'd really appreciate if you subscribe and turn on the bell. It takes around 2 seconds and it really helps the channel. You can get uploads every 2 days, and that's pretty much your daily news. So thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.